Game time, baby! Today we're gonna look at the Rare Cup. Semi-final of the Rare Cup. We have the Stray Dogs going up against Team Nova. A little bit weird, and you're probably looking at this and you're like, Khaldor, the fuck is the Rare Cup? What are you casting here? And well, we're gonna come to that in just a moment, but let's introduce our players first. The Stray Dogs on the left side here on Volskaya Foundry, our first map in the best of 3. Zoe on Kel'Thuzad, Emir Khan on Falstad, Holy Panzer on Blaze, we have Kero on Imperius, and Mataros on Rhaegar. And for Team Nova, B-Boss on ETC, Galga on Kel'Thas, Antorugiu on Sylvanas, Wusa on Dagger Kane, he's excited today, and Goryo on Leoric. Okay, so Rare Cup. Rare Cup is pretty much the end of season cup for Heroes Launch, HeroesLaunch.gg, the amateur league, and this is the end of season tournament for Division 7 and Division 6, meaning the 2 lowest divisions, aka most of the players that you will see, are pretty much at the bottom of the skill scale. So we're going to see a lot of weird picks, a lot of weird choices, but of course, we are basically trying to crown the best of the worst at this point. So that's pretty much what we're going for. And it's going to be funny. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll check out how this is going to go after we had recently just Division S playoffs in North America, in Europe. We had other tournaments too. Now we're looking at some of those fun games anymore where people that really can't play try to play. So that's pretty much what this is. And everybody is fully aware of this. Everybody is fully on board with all of this. So as I said in the past multiple times already, if you are going to get offended here on behalf of someone else, then you're doing it wrong, because everybody is on board. And yeah, probably not the video for you. But as it happens, let's check that out. So camps are already taken, but you can already tell on the minimap, so far only one team takes their camp. And it's only Imperius that over here is like, team. And if the red team would invade now, they would get it. But if the red team, for example, just rotates up here and tries to take that healing beacon, they should also be able to claim it. We have Kel'Thas at the bottom of the map. Generally speaking, the setup that they have is already an interesting one. You have the Kel'Thas ETC combo, which isn't really all that bad. Power Slide into Gravity Lapse was one of the staple builds like years ago. It was super powerful. Since then, there's a lot of additional heroes that have been released, of course, that changed the entire dynamic. But it's still something that you can play. For some reason, by the way, everybody goes on to the wrong talent on level 4 here for Kel'Thas. We always see the energy roll here. It's really, really weird to see that talent being picked, especially since on the top level play, when Kel'Thas makes it into a draft, it's never chosen. So yeah, a lot of people don't really check out what the good players play around. But let's have a bit of a look at that. So for the time being, nobody actually went for the healing beacon, but instead we have the first control point unlocking. There's a global on the side of the blue team, which should give the Stray Dogs a bit of a lead when it comes to experience eventually. I find it very fitting, by the way, that the Stray Dogs actually play with Rhaegar. I find that pretty cool. The only thing that really misses is Greymane. Yeah, Sylvanas needs to be careful as well. And yes, that stun didn't connect. Instead, Holy Panzer lost half his HP because he jumped into the tower range and got bodied by it very, very quickly. So, towards the top side, we still have a bit of a fight going on after the red team set up their own camp to push through. Imperius had to rotate towards the top together with Falstad to deal with it. Now we're seeing still some action over the control point, but it's apparently an attempt to get level 7 from the blue team that is currently a bit more important to them, the priority, which is definitely a good thing to focus on. But Leo will try and get a lot of experience bot side now as well, and that should honestly lead to a level 7 for both of the teams at the same time. So they are really in a spot where they are starting to lose out on a lot here. Okay, Boomerang taken, very happy about that. Still the correct talent choice. We have for Kel'Thuzad now the Chilling Touch. And the Sunfire Enchantment on the side of Kel'Thas. NA style over here. CPX would be proud. Same time now, the Willing Vessel over here. Red team has actually fallen back for just a moment. The turrets are still in play for both of the teams. And I gotta admit, they're not yoling him out there as much as I expected them to. There's the first one. Kill against Blaze. He's dead. Main tank for his team, by the way. And they're trying to get a follow-up against Imperius, but they just can't. And that looks solid now for Team Nova. they are about to lock in the first protector. And then, of course, it comes down to whether or not they execute a proper rotation towards the top to take the fountain down and prepare for objective number 2 or not. We have now another item about to be taken. I gotta say, from a macro level, it's maybe not as crisp as you would want it to be, but they're making the right choices here. They take their turret early, they take the second one during the objective, they're making their plays here, so I kind of like that. It's actually quite a bit of this. Considering that this is the lowest league, this is not too bad. Buttons are getting pressed and buttons are getting smashed, and that's not the only thing that gets smashed here. So did Imperius, and so does Kel'Thuzad. And another kill against Blaze. 4 kills against 0. Currently Team Nova reigning supreme over here, and that yields the first protector. Nicely done. Yeah, over the course of the next few days and week, we are looking at all of those tournaments, by the way. So we have a specific tournament for Division 6 and Division 7. We have a specific tournament for Division 5 and Division 4. Then for 3 and 2, and a special tournament for Division 1. And we're going to look at a lot of those semifinals, a lot of those grand finals. I'm going to focus at the end of the tournament matches, just to give you guys a bit of an idea. Also promote the amateur scene here a little bit. And keep in mind that you can actually participate in these leagues as well. HeroesLounge.gg, check it out. Fantastic Heroes of the Storm community. And if you're tired of the shit show that Blizzard calls Storm League, then definitely check it out. It's exactly what you want if you're trying to play with like-minded people that want to play a bit more competitive, that want to talk about drafts, that want to maybe train a little bit as a team there too. Play a game every week. You can do that also, of course, as an individual player. You got a couple of friends together, you can do the same thing. They have fantastic FAQs also on the website and a really good Discord community, so definitely more than welcome to check that out. But yeah, also talking about Discord, if generally... the mosh pit, nice. If you're generally using Discord and you want to check that out, keep in mind that I have a Discord as well. It's actually linked on YouTube if you're currently watching this on YouTube, just as an example. With level 10 abilities, we have pretty much meta picks as well. I'm a little bit amazed because normally when we're looking at Division 6 and 7, we're oftentimes getting, well, let's call it unorthodox talents. I don't want to call it bad talents, but that's pretty much what it is. So, yeah, the kill secured at the top. Fountain, by the way, has been taken down by the Protector, so they pretty much accomplished what they wanted here. They didn't accomplish much else, but they at least got the Fountain. And that's important when you want to prepare for objective number 2. I was actually wondering what Blaze was taking, and I am, on the one hand, disappointed. On the other hand, I am a little bit happy that at least one hero over here goes for a shit talent. So we have Combustion. Horrible, horrible talent. And I mean, if your team doesn't use Bunker, then there we go. I said in the past, one of the things that Blizzard could do to maybe finally also buff Bunker a little bit in a popular way would be that you don't have to enter Bunker anymore. Once that Blaze actually drops the Bunker, he can suck you into the Bunker. That will eliminate the problem of you dropping Bunker, nobody using it. Great Entomb down here, kill against Rhaegar, and that's the first one. 6 kills against 0, and the red team looked for a follow-up but couldn't get it here. Obviously, just kidding a bit. If you made that happen, that Blaze can suck people into the bunker, you can imagine what kind of a shit show that would be, especially in quick match. But at least people would finally get some value out of the bunker. One of the most annoying things if you're playing Blaze in a public game. There's a huge team fight, you drop a perfect bunker and nobody uses it, dies, and then they complain that you blocked them. And this is like, just use it! There's a bunker for a reason, and by the way, Blaze is hoarder number 1. That bad boy has been preparing for the apocalypse for years and years and years and end, so you can be guaranteed that he still has some toilet paper left in that thing. So if you're running out, play Blaze. There you go. Free advice. You're welcome. Thank me later. Level 13 talents, and now we have Fission Bomb in. So far, so good. A little bit different. I mean, usually you see the Pyromaniac, but it seems like we're going to have more of a focus onto Living Bomb, which on this level makes also a bit more sense, of course, since people have a tough time spreading out. But now that Leo is occupying everybody on the blue team side at the bottom of the map, the red team has just decided that with the help of the Sylvanas, they can actually push this. Yeah, it's a bit of an early... Okay, Mighty Gus, fair enough. Mighty Gus traded against the Phoenix. The Phoenix setup was a little bit early here. But the R button was ready. You need to use those cooldowns, so you gotta go for it. Control point is unlocking in a few seconds. Still level 13 against level 13 in a second. They're nearly there. They're nearly there, so that kind of counts. Okay, so let's have a bit of a look towards the top. They're already taking it, sitting in the corner here. Kel'Thuzad has 20 stacks now on the baseline. He really needs that extra damage. No shield for Rhaegar. Tidal waves instead. Okay, didn't go for the shield, which is pretty important actually. Alright, so what else are we gonna go for? Over here. There's already a slide. They move out. The big advantage that the red team now has is they have the fountain, so they can actually pre-tap before heading into a battle. Or they can try and play around that. In the sense that they can fight, retreat, tap, and then fight again. Try to go for the healing beacon here. And these guys have been watching a couple of the top players. Look at this. He's anchoring the play even. What's going on there? Mosh pit, baby! Why the Entomb? I don't know. I have no idea what the Entomb is doing there, but the mosh pit was great. The problem is that nobody really followed up on anything. So now Deckard Cain is down, Sylvanas is also dead. Can't believe that this is going on. Honestly, that was the perfect setup for at least a double kill. Sylvanas could have also moved in with a Wailing Arrow, but instead they're losing 3 heroes in a row. It was the perfect beginning into this. ETC sees an opportunity, slides in.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Gets the quick mosh pit through, and then we have Leo dropping a useless Entomb on top of it, and nobody else follows up with any kind of damage. So that was one of the weirdest engages that I've seen in a long, long time. With a bit more coordination or communication there, they could have taken 2, 3, maybe even more kills. Instead, they lost the fight, lost 3 heroes. The gap is closed in experience, and now there's a chance that the Stray Dogs walk away with the Protector on the top lane. Yeah, so there's that. Okay, so let's see. Do they actually fight for it? No, they let it go. They let it go. There's a bit of Gundam power on the blue team side. Our Stray Dog is already moving in. We need someone else. I mean, we have the driver, ladies. We need someone on that Gatling. But instead, Falstad dies. Nobody joins Rhaegar. Finally, there's a channel. Kel'Thuzad is in it to win it, baby. But down here... Oh, is it a kill? Yes! Imperius is dead. Imperius is dead, so is Blaze. And they only have 2. Sylvanas gets locked down into a corner. Is she still alive? And... gets away. Oh my god. And the Protector is trying to get something done here, but no. I have no idea what he's shooting at, by the way. He's just pressing buttons. It's like, what does this button do? Don't press the red button. Don't press the red button. You press the red button. Level 16 is in, which gives us now Ignite. And hit him with the stick, baby. The Horadric staff is right there. The fountain was at least taken down. The problem is they're gonna die now. Oh my god, the Entomb. Why the mosh pit? What is it with you two? Seriously. What is it? Nice gust, by the way. Good save from Falstad, at least saving the doggy. But what is it with Leo and ETC always jumping in and dropping the same two? Like, it doesn't make any sense. That's the second time that they now did it. And there was actually delay between the two things. So it's not like they hit the buttons at the same time, where it's like, oops, my mistake. But it's literally... I mean, it's a conscious decision, apparently. It seems like they're both fighting over who made the useful engage happen. This is like ETC, I was first. It's like, oh, but mine will look better. So, just because you can combo it doesn't mean it makes sense. If you want to drop the Entomb, then drop the Entomb after the mosh pit is over. Or just at the end of it, not at the beginning. That doesn't do anything for you. That, on the other hand, does a lot for the red team. So now they're trying to take the fountain down, and they might even be able to take the fort. Damn. That's a lot of damage. Deckard Cain, with all the aggression that has built up over the years, is just moving in. It's just like hitting the last one to retreat. If one more person asks me to identify their fucking item, I'm gonna kill them. Whoa. Good old Deckard. I would be annoyed too. I would be annoyed too. I mean, time again. That guy was just working hard, years on end, and now he's yelling at clouds. That's just what happens. So, 10 kills against 3. And on the left side, that's where we have the blue team. Trying to fight for the beacon, it seems. But not red. Both of them are just like zipping around here. Nobody really wants to go for it just yet, but there's a decision being made and the blue team commits. Red team is nowhere to be seen though. Yep, red team is nowhere to be found. Gives up the item, and item control is obviously heavily important there. So, yep, there's that. Alright, so, now with that said, we have on level 16 by now the Airy Gust, of course. It's a little bit weird still, but I mean, he went into the Giant Killer on level 13 and then Airy Gust after that. We have a little bit of combo for Rhaegar, who went into level 1 and level 16 Totem. It's all about level 20 now. I mean, if you can grab 20 before the next objective, you're actually in a great position for this. And they should actually have a chance for that. I mean, it's 30 seconds out. Taking the fort down would also be really nice, and at least some kind of pull pressure would build up at the top lane. Not quite there yet, but yeah, they're moving around on the map trying to get more items. Item count is actually a bit better for the blue team, as you can see. They hold the extra healing beacon, and there's no second turret held by the red team. Sylvanas is trying to become aggressive here, but she needs to be careful. They still have vision topside, so that's fine. So she knows that she can get some damage in, but there's at least Imperius coming. That's going to be a wave, and alright, she jumps out. They get the 20. They will get the 20 for sure. That's definitely going to happen, and with that, they then have an opportunity to take the objective with the help of the Storm Talons. There's just no chance for the Stray Dogs to get it as well. That said, this is level 6 and level 7 for Division 6 and Division 7 for a reason. Just because of you have an advantage doesn't mean you win the fight. The only question is, will the Stray Dogs go for the fight, yes or no? And they're trying to put the top lane instead. Down here, there's the Buried Life. Wait for the mosh pit, wait for the mosh pit. No mosh pit, look at that. They're learning. 3 times the charm, baby. Also, the turret didn't get dropped by Leo, which means that they could pick up another one. Nice. That was actually neat. Yeah, usually when you go for the aggression over here and you try to push for the keep, you still keep one hero on the objective, and they should do that too. It's a little bit weird that they push with 5. They should really just do that with 4, as long as they have vision on some top lane heroes. Because despite the fact that they're taking this down, the opponent gets experience as well. So it's going to be 20 versus 20. It's nice that you break the wall down, but you still have to take the Protector, boys. You still have to take the Protector. And you're using ults now as well. Yeah, they're about to take the keep, but 20 is now there any second. The old man is dead, and they didn't take the keep. At least take the fucking keep. Gust! 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 Why don't you Gust? Gust, you fucker! Why? Was he really silenced the entire time by Sylvanas' arrow and then the entomb? There must have been a frame there. I'm not that crazy. He wasn't silenced the entire time. There's no way. And 3 turrets completely dropped. Alright, so the keep is down. But damn, that could have been the play. That could have been it right there. Okay, so at this point, everybody is starting to jump into the objective again, and I think this could be game. Again, if they get the Protector now, they have the heroes back up on the map, the bottom keep is already gone. Then you have to realize there's still camps on the map. And if you learned one thing from Quick Mesh, and it is that you have to get the camps. You gotta get all the camps. Get all the camps. Get them now. So, yeah. Alright, so 14 against 4 kills. What's the damage output actually looking like? 36,000 on Sylvanas. We haven't really seen that many big battles, to be honest. This game was a bit odd. ETC gets chased away at the bottom of the map. Bit of a desperate move here by the blue team. And the red team keeps walking away from it. I mean, the red team has some kind of allergy against Protectors, I think. They had now 2 opportunities to lock the Protector in for sure. And they always allow the blue team, the Stray Dogs, to come back with 5 and force a 5 versus 5 fight. Like, Team Nova is just literally sitting there. It's just like, yeah, do you want a Protector? It's like, nah, I don't want it either. It's like, do you want it? Like, but someone has to take it. Yeah, but not me. And then they end up in a situation where they have to go for another team fight. So they might still lose this thing. Okay. There's the Buried Alive. Completely missing the target, by the way. I mean, completely. Mosh Pit got interrupted. Not a great start for them. Not by any means. Yeah, Flash Fire is in. And everybody is pressing buttons. Press a button. Press buttons. Yeah, that's already blazed down. ETC, 5 seconds for the Mosh Pit. And the kill against Imperius. 2 down, Falstad with a wind tunnel. I have no idea what I was supposed to do, but he used it. He pressed the button, and now that Kel'Thuzad is dead as well, this should finally be the Protector. And with the Protector, now that 3 heroes are dead, this kind of is game, right? I never really know in Division 6 and Division 7, so I don't want to get too far ahead of myself here. I also don't know what Leo is doing. Alright. Fountain. Great. So they're starting to go in, and that kind of has to be game. I mean, they're not going for a camp. That's not on the map. They're not going for a fort, so I already appreciate that. But it seems like this is going to be game. Looks like Team Nova is going to take a lead. It's a free agent team, so not even a full normal 5-man. Yeah, nicely done. We'll train that again with the damage, but still, that should be enough one way or another. Falstad also doesn't have the Mighty Gust anymore, but he will in a second. It's definitely going to be too late, though. The lead in this best-of-3 series here at the semi-final of the Rare Cup, ladies and gentlemen. Team Nova taking the 1-0 over the Stray Dogs. Game number 2. Aldrich pass, everybody. Here we have it. Zoe on Stukov for the Stray Dogs. Emir Kaun on Vala. Holy Panzer on Liming this time. Kero on Johanna and Mertaros on Arthurs. A little bit of a swap around here. Again, this is Division 6 and Division 7. You don't really have roles necessarily on those teams, so it's just like you have heroes that you can play. So you will see a player play a damage dealer in one game and then all of a sudden a side lane or a tank in the other. On the right side, though, for the red team in the lead in this best-of-3 in the semi-final, we have Galga on Jaina, B-Boss on ETC, Goryo on Varian, and Wusa on Lucio with Antorigui on Sylvanas. So, here we go. Level 1. There's already the lines more. It's also level 4, of course, that is going to get quite interesting for us. Vala has decided to go into a multi-shot build, as it seems. Keep in mind that on this map you see a lot of arrow builds, because with Monster Hunter on level 1 you can do a lot of pressure plays around the bosses on the map and take them very, very quickly and try to play through the camp. There's also, only outside of the bosses, there's only one camp on each side, and those are usually highly prioritized by the team. So that's something to keep in mind here, since the teams will very likely try and focus on them as much as they can. Outside of that, we'll keep those level 4 talents in mind a bit, especially on the side of Varian, of course. It plays a bit of a role. I mean, you play on any kind of higher level, it is all about the taunt. There's really nothing that compares to it, despite what bronze players these days on Reddit might try and tell you. They need to buff taunt. It's the only talent level 4 that's not playable. So yeah, our keyboard warriors there. But at this point, I still am, with Jaina in particular, of the opinion that we're going to see an actual taunt play. Again, you have burst damage, you want to go into a setup like this, and I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to get from them. I've already I've talked about it in the last game, but they actually made halfway decent game decisions. And I'm not trying to be condescending here in any way, but usually when you're looking at the lower level plays, there's a lot of random stuff that happens, but especially the plays around the items, for example, the rotations with the Protector, they were usually spot on. You could really tell that these guys have quite a bit of game knowledge when it comes to how do I play the map objective, how do I play with the combo, and so I would expect taunt to be taken. There it is, and then the attempts at setup with taunt into a Blizzard, maybe even a Ring of Frost later, and trying to snipe the heroes here. So that's exactly what's happening here. I'm pretty happy to see that. So camps are also taken, but there's a little bit of a delay for the blue team as they took their own knolls a little bit late. So the red team gets actually an opportunity to take turret and wall down and uses it right away. Also, want to highlight that they play against with Sylvanas here, which gave them, of course, value on the last map, so they're trying to do the same thing again. Now, normally on this map, when the prisoner camps spawn, top players will ignore that. They will wait for level 7 talents before they actually make a play here. And I feel this is becoming more common now also on the lower leagues. But we'll see if someone is starting to make a move. So far, both teams are still seemingly trying to soak enough experience to get the next talent. And nobody makes a play for the objective just yet. Has even a bit of a move back here in order to get mana and hit points. And it seems like both of them are absolutely aware of what they should do here. We have a continuous rotation on the blue team in an attempt to lock maybe Varian at the top lane down. Yeah, the red team is trying to make a rotation happen by themselves, a little bit safer on the right side. But nobody's really forcing a fight around the camps, and I don't think they will until level 7 talents are there. That's usually what you're trying to do. Yeah, but the blue team is actually moving in, just as I talked about it. So, now we are going to see the red team trying the red team will try and interrupt, will try and soak lanes, and then try and get their level 7 so that they have an advantage heading into the fight. Lucio's at the interrupt, Sylvanas has taken a bit more experience here in the middle, Varian is doing the same thing now up at the top, trying to get level 7 for them, and then they will have an advantage that they are most likely going to use by trying to force a fight here. At least that's what they should do. And there's the level 7 already. Okay, can they force the fight? Ah, the slide misses! There's the taunt! Where's the damage? There it is. Easiest combo of their life. And no! What is this? Nine. Guys, if you play Li Ming and you don't play Calamity, you are doing it wrong. It's literally, if you don't pick Calamity on Li Ming, then pick a different hero. Just pick a different hero. It's one of those talents that is absolutely essential. It's actually ridiculous that Blizzard doesn't make that an auto pick. That Calamity on Li Ming has been picked for years and years on end by every player that is in any way good on Li Ming. Picking Calamity is horrible. We have seen teams win with it, but again, you win despite picking or not picking Calamity. You don't win because you didn't pick it. You are literally crippling yourself in the damage output that you have. And there's a lot of Wood League players that will always come in with their theory craft. Ah, but Khaldor, you know, I mean, if but for like, I can't stay. It's like the only reason he is like, get good, learn to play. If you don't pick Calamity on Li Ming, you do it wrong. Pick a different hero. There's plenty to choose from where you don't have to engage your opponent a little bit more, or build is shit. The red team, on the other hand, has already started with a good setup. Doesn't mean they're going to win the game, but at least when it comes to actual play, they're definitely doing pretty solid here. They're trying to play around the combo that I told about earlier. They gotta be a little bit careful, because I think that Stukov in particular could actually destroy this a few times. Slide is in. Yeah, there should be a taunt, but the follow-up wasn't there. Here it is, and ETC ruins it. Yeah, that was unfortunate. That was actually a kill against Stukov, and ETC just pressed the buttons and ruined it there. Pushed Stukov to safety, or that would have been a second kill for them. But off we go. Yeah, Stukov could ruin the game. There is a big argument to be made for the big front line that the blue team has together with Stukov really creating a lot of problems for the red team when they try to execute a combo. But here they go again. In the attempt to move for Arthas, level 10 abilities are there, and they actually lose Varian. Varian is down. Alright. So, what else? I mean, with that little setup here, it's kind of weird, because they got their level 10 abilities and then they actually died there. That usually shouldn't really happen to you. Sylvanas is completely left alone at the bottom of the map, by the way. Can't really get too much. Oh, Syndragosa on Arthas. Nice. Yeah, look at that. Sylvanas actually playing it safe, and I like that, because she has no vision on the opponent. She does not know where 3 of those heroes are, so she takes a very safe path towards the top now, even jumping over with a wave, maybe even a little bit too cautious, but that was actually a good choice. After pushing the lane through, that still yielded one tower to them. So that was nicely done. So Sylvanas definitely doing a good job with this. But let's see what else we're gonna see. Right. Okay. EDC is a bit late on the slide there. That would have been a neat interrupt for them. Okay. Prisoner camps coming up again. Let's look also a little bit at the damage output here. Yeah, Li Ming, despite the horrible build, has still a really good chance of walking away with the top damage for the team. Depends a bit on how active Vala plays at the front line. If she gets multi-shot value, then there, but those are obviously the only 2 damage players over here. Yeah, Sylvanas so far with... I mean, there's not really a lot of fights. We've seen a little skirmish at the top, but these rotations that we're seeing from the red team are actually fantastic. I mean, they're moving in, they're taking the fort down. Nobody's even doing anything about it. Blue team is focused fully on this. Varian, on the other hand, he needs to come down there. That fountain is not worth as much as losing the objective right now. So that's a problem. I like the snipe at the fort, but Varian needed to rotate a little bit quicker. So the team is actually locked into a really awkward spot now, because Varian is a crucial part of that combo. And ETC, by the way, doesn't really hit his power slides. There's a zoning mosh, gets interrupted immediately by Li Ming. Varian comes in, taunts maybe the wrong target here, and they are getting completely murdered right now. Yep, that setup didn't really help them. Arthas at least is dead, but it's still a 2-for-1 trade, and this is getting a little bit awkward. Good move initially, but again, Varian coming in at that point was not really the play there. If you're trying to go one of these burst combos, then you really need to make sure that your two lockdown heroes, ETC and Varian, are getting the setup for Jaina so that she can take those heroes down. And also, you can really think about taking Ring of Frost in this setup too. If you really, really want to bank all your hopes on or to a burst combo, then that's what you kind of should play. So, let's see. Righty. So, 3 kills against 2, level 12 versus level 12. Now, again, the red team, because of that decision to push through 2 lanes, just gave up the objective and has fallen behind in experience now. Stukov going into the Virulent Reaction, and Glass Cannon is now picked as well. I mean, honestly, Li Ming is at this point literally saying, I really hope that our opponent is really shit, because if they're not, we just lost the game. And since it is Division 6 and Division 7, as I said before, they might still win it, but if you ever want to get better, never pick these talents. Just don't. Level 7 is Calamity, level 7 is Illusionist. Those are your 2 talents. If you want to become a good Li Ming player, if you want to become a better player in Heroes of the Storm, and you want to play Li Ming, pick Calamity and Illusionist. This talent is literally, I hope my opponent is really bad. This is what this talent says, because if they're not really bad, then they will exploit that weakness and punish you for it relentlessly. Yeah, but in this case, instead of punishing them, what do? They move into a choke point against the Stukov team and against an Arthas team. And that fight goes as you would expect. Yeah, they lose all the hit points, they lose ETC immediately, and they're just getting chased away. Can't make that mistake. Yep, you cannot run into a choke point like this. If Stukov comes in with a silence, you set yourself up for Vala's multi-shot damage, and there's Johanna and Arthas, of course, as well. Not really a position you want to be in against this team. But again, with the first objective that we had for the blue team, they were able to take the fort at the top lane, and now they're going for the one in the middle. There was some damage done at the bottom too. Next objective is going to spawn at the top again, but they're actually overstaying quite heavily, and Arthas is going to die because of it. That was a bit of a Sudoku move by Arthas. So it's not like only the red team is making mistakes here. Right now we have a lot of overextending heroes. Johanna, there's the taunt, the silence comes through, pushing it back, and that's a kill. Nicely done. Kill comp is there. I've said this a couple of times in the past, and I'm saying again, if you actually want to play with friends, if you want to play in an amateur league and you are still new at just comboing off things in general, a really good setup is just a kill composition. You take Varian, and then you have either a second tank with a stun, or you go for a support that has a lockdown like Malfurion, and you just go in, you taunt, and then you have a damage dealer that has burst damage. That can be pretty much any mage. Jaina is fantastic for it. You can make the same plays also with Li Ming, for example. And then you just practice that a bit in Quick Match, in Storm League, wherever. And then you can use that after a while when you set that combo up. It's one of the easiest combos to execute. There's always counter plays, of course, possible on the opponent's side. Stukov is a good example for it right now. Johanna can, with a stun set up through a Blessed Shield, also pretty much ruin the combo. But those are pretty easy combos to execute at the beginning, and then you can build on that later on. Over here though, Syndragosa is out. There's a Blessed Shield, misses completely. But look at these silences. As I said early on in this game already, Stukov has the potential to ruin the red team, and that's what he's currently doing. These Stukov setups are really, really annoying right now, and he actually caught 2 heroes in the lurking arm, and nobody properly played around it, and that led to 2 kills now. So the boss that was taken goes at least through the top fort, but it of course gets now attacked by 5 heroes, and is very likely not going to find value down here. Vala went into Frost Shot as level 16 talent. Totally okay. absolutely understandable. Most of the time you will see Manticore and then Faf like Quiver on level 20, but having Frost Shot with the multi-shot build is still really worth it. Allows you a bit more control, allows you slow, and it also allows you a long-ranged poke that you can use against your opponent, so that's pretty helpful as well. But now that the objective is attacked, we have 16 versus 16. And that gives us, amongst other things, the northern exposure right here. And off we go. Jojo already a little bit low. Good condemn. There's the damage. The burst could be the end of Johanna, and indeed it is. Where's Stukov when you need him? Well, there he is right now. And everybody is trapped around it. But Arthas is dead too. And the red team is trying to go in for the kill. Slappity slap slap as we have Stukov trying to save his team. And he does for the time. But they will most likely lose the objective here. Unless they can buy enough time. Bot lane, on the other hand, gets pushed in too, so someone might have to react to that. Over here, still interrupt, of course, possible, but a little bit too late. Damage fully taken by Lucio, though. Needs to be a bit careful with his positioning. That's where he could actually die. Yeah, don't run into this. Just dodge out on it, take those minions down, and they have a really good chance of winning this one. There will still be an opportunity for the blue team to fight back, though, because they have their heroes back up on the map. At least Johanna. Arthas is going to respawn in 1 second. And then there's still an opportunity. There's already attempts at getting some damage in on the blue team's side as they're moving in with this. The efforts on Team Nova should now focus on Li Ming, seriously. If they just flank on Li Ming and get the damage in, they can insta-kill her. With Glass Cannon, you are begging for punishment. But right now, the red team is not really angling for her. Instead, Vala gets attacked, not even taunted. No taunt. Those are the setups you have to go for. The big move in, the taunt, and then the follow-up on Jaina. If you don't do that, then you are just having problems with your combo. So communication and coordination on the red team side is falling apart a little bit. They need to coordinate this better. Especially as the blue team is giving them plenty of opportunity to flank into the damage dealers. Especially in this case, we just saw it. Varian moving in. We had, Jaina shortly behind, so that was an opportunity right there that they didn't use. And Vala begs for it. And there it is, the insta-kill. That needed to happen. Yeah, they can still move out, regroup if they want to. Shouldn't really lose. Varian here Lucio even has to use the sound barrier. A different healer would have helped a lot with this setup as well. Lucio is not really doing too much for them. That's a good opportunity, though. Could even have dropped the mosh pit there, to be absolutely honest. But of course, Li Ming is around with the interrupt. But that's a kill against Arthas regardless. 8 kills against 6. That wailing arrow towards the end was maybe a bit of an overkill. That didn't really do anything for them anymore. And now that they're starting to clear all of this up, they have a big push topside that can still be taken down. We're going to see the Raiders now moving in. And there's definitely a chance for Team Nova to set themselves up with a really big lead in this game and maybe make this a 2-0 victory over the Stray Dogs. Keep in mind, this is the semi-final. This is best of 3 series. This is a semi-final. We're looking at the Rare Cup here. Division 6 and Division 7 at heroeslounge.gg. Ice block being used. Varian is again at the bottom of the map. God knows why. They split Varian off. Probably because they figured, hey, we're going to fight a 4 versus 4. There was no reason to send Varian down to the bottom of the map. If he's up with the team here, they can go for an easy kill right now against one of the damage dealers. Arthas isn't there. That's the perfect setup. Him side pushing isn't really going to do a whole lot for them. He needs to be with the damage dealer here, and he's riding it right now, but it's already a bit late, and they were not able to take the keep down. They lost out on the keep because of this. Bottom fort will fall anyways. Varian is not needed for this. Bottom fort would have fallen. The top fort is down. Now they have a chance over here. Varian could have, by the way, moved into the middle now even and taken it, but he's again too late. Mosh pit is in. Lucio and Sylvanas are already dead, and now they're going to lose ETC as a follow-up. Well played by the blue team. They capitalized on the fact that the red team did not coordinate their attack. They split a hero off, which was clearly a mistake. Used the 5-man too late, and yeah, nicely done. That's exactly what the Stray Dogs need to do right now. You see that your opponent is screwing up their rotations a little bit, bam, punish them for it. So, keep not down. Huge problem here. And, well, let's see what else they're going to do with this. I'm actually a little bit disappointed. Every single time they fight as a 5-man, they're starting to do really well. They're trying to go for the setup, they're getting the kills in, but for some reason after they win the fight, they might have really bad decisions on this map. They made a lot of really good choices on map number 1, but right now they are splitting heroes off when they shouldn't. If they 5-man the mid lane, they take the keep down, the bottom fort falls anyways to the raiders, and then they have a chance to rotate topside and take even keep number 2. But they give Stray Dogs plenty of opportunity to come back into this game. Yeah, Team Nova right now with the boss at the top side too. Of course, this boss has a slight advantage that if they're able to grab it, it will go for the keep. Whereas this one down here is already taking damage from the fort, so that's an advantage. They could push through the top if they wanted to. Doesn't it taken? Varian is still a little bit low, so needs to be healed up. But they need to make a choice, right? Will they just let this slide through? And apparently they're afraid that they're going to lose their own keep down at the bottom of the map. Not really a problem. Better play would have honestly been to try and maybe push with the boss at the top side. This one doesn't have to be defended against. The towers and the keep are going to do the same thing. But at least in the middle, the keep is now lost to the blue team because they didn't set up a defense here. This would have been good for them if they sent Vala in, for example, after the team retreated. But at least trying to steal this away. That's already pretty good. We'll see what they can do with that. And, well, let's see. Yeah, 9 kills against 8. Level 20 times are in for both. Absolute 0 is even in now. Varian, by the way, has gone into the demoralizing shout. And we have Death Metal. Plus Winter Mute. That's going to be a huge game changer. That's, by the way, a little bit tricky. So this is going to do a whole lot of work. This can theoretically damage the wall at the keep. But they're getting the lead over here. But now, because they haven't taken, they haven't really capitalized on their advantages, this is the moment where the blue team can fight back again. They're heavily behind in structures, but they still can, through a team fight victory, do a lot here. Vala very, very far out. Needs to be careful. If Varian gets the taunt, Varian should get the taunt and there should be a kill. Is a bit late on the taunt. Doesn't get it in time. Backline gets attacked and zoned. And this is a problem. Lucio, bless shield, repulsion. And they are completely scattered. But a good ult from Lucio keeps him alive with the shield. But there's a kill against ETC. And the Death Mosh doesn't do anything. They gotta move back here. Gotta defend the top lane. Pings are already indicating that exactly that is going to happen now. So, off we go. There is the move right there. Alright, take it down quickly. Damage output by now. We have, yeah, Li Ming not getting punished at all. She died not a single time. Best indicator that the red team is not really punishing her for her talent picks. And they had plenty of opportunity here. That can't happen. Li Ming with Glass Cannon, 0 deaths, with the Varian composition with Taunt, with damage output from Jaina. That cannot happen. You need to punish her for that immediately. And if you don't, then you're just throwing your game away. Still, 38 and 38,000 on the 2 damage dealers for the red team. So that's solid for them. Pretty good job there. Also, Stukov, another hero that hasn't died yet. And as I said already before level 10, Stukov is the one that most likely will ruin their day here. And that's exactly what happens. Now, without ETC, they can't really go into the fight. And, well, let's see how they can defend against this push. Because now that the cavalry is coming out again, they have to defend that. Can meet it maybe early top lane, try and take it down, and then rotate down to the bottom. They got to be really, really careful with this, but they're already moving out with it. Yeah, just make sure that you have the 5 men together. At least meet the numbers on the blue team side. No level 10 still for Stukov, so he's still waiting it out here. And let's see. Yeah, they're already meeting them pretty early. Again, it would have probably been a good choice to just like defend this one first, at least to an extent. But they're trying to flank in. Yeah, a bit too early for the flank. Varian is too fine. He goes on the wrong target. You can't kill Arthas as easily anymore as you could earlier. Need to go for a different hero here. ETC is pretty far out too. Yeah, there's the absolute 0, and now they're getting locked down on the chase. And oh my god. Oh, that will be bad. That's gonna be horrible. Uh-oh. There's nobody for the damage. They dove way too deep. That's the keep, 100%. They dove way too deep in that engage. And then they didn't lock onto a target. Yeah, they needed to fall back there much sooner. So now we have the first keep destroyed. And there is pretty much no doubt in my mind that at least the second keep is going to fall in this encounter. They are in real big trouble now. 12 kills against 8. The Stray Dogs, they are doing everything right at this point. They're making a lot of good decisions right now. And they are looking at a potential victory. And then game number 3. And with 2 heroes down, nothing is really going to stop them here. This is going to be a win for them for sure. Stukov still hasn't picked his 20, but that doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, big question. Did the Stray Dogs win it or did Team Nova lose it? But either way, nicely done by the Stray Dogs here. They go for the core, they take it down, and that brings us to game number 3, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, nicely done. Third game, always a pleasure. So let's go straight in for the deciding map in this series. Alright, game number 3, Towers of Doom, ladies. Let's go. Let's see how this one turns out. Stukov again for Zoe for the Stray Dogs. Did a great job on the last map, so we're going to see him here again. Emir Khan on Vala. Bit aggressive, playing a lot in front of the tanks, but didn't get punished a whole lot on the last map. Interesting enough, we have actually met Harus on Varian, so the blue team has taken Varian over this time. Holy Panzer on Hanzo and Kero on Johanna. For the red team, after losing on Alterac Pass, we have Antorigui on Reyna, Bibos and Nuburak, Galga on Kel'Thuzad, Gori on Imperius, and Wusa on Rega. A little bit tricky with the Nuburak here for them. They don't have other heroes that will jump in with him. Oftentimes what we're seeing is like a Nuburak Grey main mix that helps you also when you want to dive underneath structures to do a bit of damage thanks to the beetles that you're going to spawn. But generally speaking, you want to have someone that moves in with the Nuburak whenever he engages, and they don't really have that. Might make things a little bit more difficult, but of course, there's always the premise, you might have the better draft in the game, but if your opponent does not capitalize, or sorry, if you don't capitalize on the better draft, then your opponent might still win it. So that's what it, at the end of the day, is going to come down to. Also, Varian, High King's Quest. Yeah, we had a pretty decent taunt play on the last map. Couple of mistakes in the rotations after one objectives for sure, but generally trying to execute the combos. This time it seems like we might get Meme Blades or Smash, so I'm already a little bit worried. Now they don't have the traditional burst damage from a mage that you want to have, but with Hanzo and with Vala, you can still do a lot of work there, despite the fact that Vala right now gets a little bit crushed at the bottom of the map by Jimmy. Most of the focus on the map is now in the middle, though. So we have 3 versus 3 going up against them now. Trying to see that and check that out. Yeah, rotations down to the bottom of the map are now happening too. But now we have also camps, of course, up. And that's actually something where the blue team is missing out a little bit. I'm not sure if they're going to make that rotation in a moment, but as the red team is already getting their own pumpkins, they haven't rotated yet, which could lead to a fight on the blue team's camp. So that's a bit of a tricky one. Imperius doesn't rotate down though. Johanna is now sitting tight, but this gives definitely an opportunity to Team Nova to invade here. But they actually let that opportunity slide. They're not making that play. And instead are still moving through the middle of the map. Could at least slow down a rotation over here. Just like try to slow the rotation down to deny a bit of experience. But they don't do that either. So, bit of a lost opportunity, to be absolutely honest. If you don't fight for the camp and instead you're pushing the mid lane out, then at least try and position 1 or 2 heroes over here so that they can slow down whoever tries to move towards the top. It will deny experience to your opponent, and that will give you a small lead. You make a couple of those plays over the duration of the game, and you're going to eventually end up in the lead. Oh my god, no. No.
Oh, hell no!
You gotta be kidding me. Oh, what is it with the blue team, guys? You got away with these shit builds last game. You're not gonna get away with it twice. Oh, Stukov gets killed. Oh my god, this is gonna be horrible. They got away with this crap on the last map because the red team just refused to punish Li Ming for her picks. But in this case now, this is gonna be rough. So pretty much, this is the worst talent that Vala has. It's the talent that you never want to take. Like, literally. Honestly, if you ever win with Creed of the Hunter, you did not win the game because of Creed of the Hunter. Which is also called Creed of the Noob Trap, by the way. You won it despite it. It is the worst talent that you can possibly get. Pretty much the only games that you're winning with this is when you're winning the game anyways already. The problem that Vala has with this is that it is literally impossible to stack the talent when you're on the defensive. with any other build, you at least get some ability damage out and can poke, but if you're on the back foot, you are just continuously in a situation where you don't want to be close to your opponent, but you have to get into auto attack range to stack the talent. We've seen so many plays on even the higher level where you see the talent just taken super late in the game. It is absolutely atrocious. It doesn't give you anything for a huge amount of time, and it even falls behind in damage output if you stack it early against a proper multi-shot build or arrow build. It's literally an IQ trap of Blizzard. But yeah, so now Imperius is down. We have also seen Smash now for variants, so we actually see two heroes that pick pretty bad builds. And I cannot believe, I don't think that they can get away with doing something like this for 2 games in a row. Last game was already close, but Team Nova, despite the fact that the Anubarak might not really fit perfectly into the comp, I think this is gonna be... I would be surprised if they make this work. But again, time will tell. This is usually a map that lasts a little bit longer. But please, when you're watching this, don't do this crap at home. Please, just don't. Save a teammate. Save a teammate today and teach them to not pick these talents. Oh, Hanzo gets actually Annihilator on the rotation. But yeah, you can play an arrow build with Vala, you can play a multi-shot build, both are totally fine. The auto-attack build on Vala, you know what that's called? It's called Monteith Core and a Farfly Quiver on level 16 and 20. That's an auto-attack build on Vala. Not the level 4 talent. You're falling behind, it has literally no advantages in this setup. If you play in a brawl, I couldn't care less. If you are just hungry for dings, then go for it, but yeah. So, yeah, Vala has 10 stacks for now on it. We're 5 minutes into the game. And we currently look at 2 kills against 1. But already the blue team has fallen behind a little bit on the objective. There's even a bit of a chase happening up here to the top. And Vala is already running. Yeah, well, good luck with that. So that's another kill against her. You can run, baby, but you can't hide. That's a kill. And that's 3 kills against 1 right now. Okay. I mean, this series, I want to say from the level of play and the builds that we're seeing, the series is getting worse as the series continues. Game number 1 was so far by far the best, where teams made really solid decisions. We didn't see the best mechanical play maybe, but there was good decision making, decent builds. Then we go into game number 2, we have a couple of weird choices. That don't matter too much because opponents on a big map make macro mistakes, and then we're heading into game 3 and it becomes pretty much just a free-fall where talents are picked after a roll of the dice. So let's see what we're gonna get. Cocoon is already out, so that's good. There's no counterplay on the other side with, for example, Li Ming, who also can go into Disintegrate to counteract it. We now are looking at Vala. I mean, right now, if she picks Strafe, she should be countered by Cocoon, so Anubarak should wait it out. Instead, she makes the play for Rain of Vengeance. No problems there. I have the Hyperion in. Double Altar is coming up now. Ah, Pyroblast! Alright! Pyroblast, like another choice where I would say limited value. Vala should on... Okay, so for Vala it's a bit weird. Normally she would go into Gloom on level 13 now, and that would pretty much make Pyroblast useless against her to a huge extent. Rhaegar should go for the shield on 13. Then again, we've seen... sorry, Rhaegar's on the other team, so it doesn't even matter. But I'm pretty sure we're going to see Tempered by Discipline here for Vala, so that Pyroblast might find value after all. It's a nice tool to interrupt over here, so that's a bit of a shame that hasn't been taken. There's a channel that actually gets allowed. Arrow comes through, yep. And for some reason, now that Hanzo jumped in, he allowed him... Oh! Pyroblast value right there. And the turnaround. Yes, that's a kill. That's a double. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So yeah, there's another lockdown. And that's 3 heroes dead. 3 heroes eliminated. By the way, just saying, despite the fact that we just saw a pretty long team fight and 3 heroes eliminated, we're currently looking at only 26 stacks on Vala. Only 26. Just saying, you already get the idea here a little bit. We are 8 minutes in and she's 26% done with the quest, despite having plenty of opportunity to get massive attacks in here. It's just that also simply the mechanical skills here are going to become an issue. But anyways, now that we have our bottom bell tower converted, the blue team actually has momentum. Now, of course, there is still a Nubarak, so once that bell tower is converted properly, they can start to dive in and spawn a few beetles. If there's no defense set up, there's a good chance of them reclaiming this quickly, and they're already trying to capitalize on those beetles. They are a little bit too deep, though. They needed to wait for that minion wave a little bit longer, but there is a boss now taken at the top. That's kind of nice, but honestly, it's not really worth it. So the 4 shots are, of course, kind of neat right now, but you want to maintain bot lane control more than you want these 4 shots, because in the long run, it's going to give you more in the game. You will have continuous pressure against the opponent at the bottom of the map. You can have your offlaner rotate between 2 lanes. In this case, it's tricky since it's variant for them, so that's a problem in the draft already, that you don't have a hero that can rotate between top and middle. Already the smash attempt here gets interrupted. But now that we have the altars up, it's again 4 versus 4 bell towers, so they never really capitalize on them too much. Hyperion, they fight right underneath it. Stukov got cocooned. Pyroblast. And the kill from Rhaegar. No MLG play just there, but again, Rhaegar the one sealing the deal. Pyroblast didn't really do the trick. Okay, Stukov is gonna get away. Everybody's gonna get away, except for Varian. Alright. And Vala gets attacked now too. Okay, channel is already happening on the right side. At this point, as you can see, Nubarak. Why? I mean, you're literally running around in vision. You know that there's vision. Like, what was that? 5 kills against 4, and everybody is rotating back down again. Quick report, we're 10 minutes in, we're on level 13, so 9 levels after Vala picked her level 4 talent, she has only connected 32 auto attacks with opponents' heroes. So until now, she has 0 value out of the talent. And now I know someone's like, but Khaldor, look at it, 10% attack speed. Yeah, that 10% attack speed doesn't do jack shit for you if you don't attack opponents' heroes. So 0 value out of the talent right there. Okay, so 5 versus 5 on the kills. Still the lead for the blue team. Let's go. This is going to be a fun one. Regardless of what's happening here, this is already very entertaining. And I don't really think that's going to stop anytime soon. So let's have a quick look what's happening over here. 18,000 damage. Hanzo is sitting at 18,000. There's the dive. They're going straight in with a stun, and Hanzo is about to get wrecked. Vala, bless shield, misses as Stukov pushes them away. Vala, there's no follow-up. Alright. So it was an attempt. There was a bit of a brawl happening. Nothing really happening here. Vala actually went Gloom. I like it. I really like it. It's a good adjustment. I'm honestly quite happy that she took Gloom here. I was very afraid that she would go for Tempered by Discipline, but seeing the Pyroblast on the other side, I guess she made the decision to go into Gloom instead. That's really good. That's definitely going to help her to survive if Kel'Thuzad at any point homes in for her. So kudos for that talent pick for sure. Definitely going to repair for her level 4 throughout the rest of the game. Don't worry about it. But that was a good choice to be made. So yeah, kudos. Okay, all the shrines are up. Top left, top right should usually get simply channeled by the 2. A little bit of value, by the way, down here through those pumpkins. Shots are getting fired, and now the fight over the 3rd altar is happening. 16 points against 20, so a slight advantage for Team Nova. But keep in mind, they are heavily behind in experience. Well, heavily, half a level. But it's gonna matter since level 16 is so close now. But this team fight could still decide a lot here. So, let's check that out. At this point, how this is gonna go. A little bit of a fight here at the top. There's the Hyperion already. They try to zone them. There's the spear. They're engaging into the back line. Varian, again, smashes a horrible talent. And there's the Pyroblast! No! The usual value. Alright, Johanna's dead too. Again, coming back to it, another team fight is over. How many stacks does Vala have? 35. She connected 2 more auto attacks with opponents' heroes. So again, the hero at this point useless. Imagine multi-shot here. Multi-shot at level 1, level 7 with the same build. You get actual poke against your opponent outside of auto attacks. You have more wave clear where you can push these lanes. Mad value, way more damage, way more siege damage, hero damage, everything. They are on the back foot in a lot of these fights, as it turns out right now. And again, I said it at the beginning, you're not going to get a lot done here. So, at this point, we have 5 versus 7. Yeah, the silence over here, trying to lock them down, but that's good damage against the bell tower, and the red team has now level 16 as well, which gives us epicenter. Very happy about the pick here. We've actually seen in Division 7 in the past sometimes. What's the name of the horrible talent that doesn't add a value? Creed of... No, Creed of the Hunter. I'm talking about the other one. Ah, yeah, Debilitation. So another one of these talents that should never be picked and never be mentioned. Yeah, we have Manticore now in. And this is where the real multi-shot build, by the way, starts. The real multi-shot build for Vala starts on level 16 with the choice of Manticore. And then you go into your level 20 Farfly Quiver, and you are going to wreck opponents' tanks with your auto attacks. So, here we go. There's the attack right there. And, well, let's have a look. Everybody jumping down there to the bottom of the map. Again, we are at 35 stacks right now. Those 10% additional attack speed that we get from her, not doing anything. Boss has been taken again. I gotta admit that the red team should be a little bit more diligent about watching what the opponent is doing. So now they're trading bell towers with them as well. I guess they're gonna get that shrine then, or the altar eventually, and bot lane is always more important than top lane because you have 2 pumpkin camps at the bottom of the map. So taking this is gonna put additional pressure towards the stray dogs, so that's a good choice. But they could definitely do a little bit better around the boss. And as I said previously, in a normal game, you wanna have also an offlane tank that can rotate between middle and top and just soak all of these waves. So let themselves get pushed back a little bit. Imperius is still joining up with them. Is currently at the top. Can go for the spear and does. There's the epicenter follow-up. They're trying to go for Vala. She's on the run again. Is nearly down and is finally trying to get a couple of hits connected. So far not happening. There's the kill against Imperius. Quest completed also for Varian, so that's good. So far we have a 5 versus 4 happening. Vala still not getting any decent auto-connects connected. Yeah, and there's the play happening as Vala is actually just trying to survive against the minions and keep them at bay. That might not happen either, but the rest of the team fighting a 4 versus 4 is still doing phenomenal, killing a Nubarak too, and that will grab this. 2 shots fired on the other hand, boom, 16 against 9 points on the core. Single digits now on the side of the straight dogs over here, but 4 more shots fired of course for them too, so the team's still incredibly close. The red team is still ahead. And I have no idea what they are doing. Trading the bell tower in the middle for the bell tower at the top is not a good choice. You want to have this one. You really need to reclaim this one, or your opponent can just send 1 pumpkin camp after another against you. So they should have fallen back and claimed their own. Now, yes, they got this one, but this will easily be taken. Question is just simply, is the red team focusing on the bottom of the map, trying to take this, yes, trying to claim this, yes or no? Because they still could force this, especially since they have now a 5 versus 4. Vala actually died. Did Vala actually die to the minion wave? I even missed that. I totally missed that. She died to the minion wave? Oh, not her game. Not her game. Okay, so, but they had nearly have level 20. They have the lead there. So it's 4 versus 4 bell towers. I mean, they took a little bit of a detour to make it happen, but at the end of the day, we have both teams holding on to the initial 4 bell towers. This one still has to be defended, though. You can't simply let this one work. I mean, guys, this is worth holding. Drop that Hyperion. They have 20, I know, but still force them back. Okay, so for now, play of the game. There's also the Indestructible. Now we should see the Farflight Quiver for Vala. Trying to get a little bit more auto attack damage to it. And I want to come back to my initial point. We're 17 minutes into this game, and Vala has, since level 4, only connected 35 auto attacks with red team's heroes. Again, horrible talent. Don't take it. If you learn anything from this game today, then it's that you don't take this. Alright, there comes the engage. Hanzo down. Varian getting attacked too. Still trying to go for the smash plays here. It's working as intended, aka it isn't. And here we go. Without level 20, they got the kill, and now they're forcing them back. That's another 4 shots fired. Guys, they're down to 5 points on the core. 5 coins on the core. Another channel attempt. Vala gets attacked, locked down, and is dead. Vala dead, and that's only 3 heroes remaining. We are looking likely at another channel. They could, in theory, try and get the bell tower and then channel and win the game by that, which they should probably do, but they don't, so it's going to be a single point on the core instead. Don't really have to do that. Anubarak needs to be careful as well, a little bit cautious here, as both teams have now level 20 talents. That gives us, amongst other things, the rewind. Varian is dead, they're going to claim this one for sure. Should take the pumpkin camp then as well. But of course, as the situation stands, they still have to take 1 point down. 1 against 12 points. Top side, good damage also against the towers up here, so that bell tower is going to be exposed too. And only 2 heroes are trying to fight this back. Let's take a quick look at the boss timer. 37 seconds? Yeah, you might be able to make that play. There is still a hero that's down for another 40, and travel time has to be included too. So now you can set yourself up. You have taken this camp. Now you move towards the boss. You slow play the boss. Your opponent has to defend the bot lane. If they show a hero at the bot lane, you go for boss. You just posture. Until they show a hero, you actually don't go for it completely. And that's all that you gotta do. So this is pretty much checkmate right here. You got it. They need to deal with the camp and they need to hold boss. And currently they're not doing either. I have no idea why they're showing. There is no reason for it. You don't have to show here. So you just stay. Yeah, now you can take it. Someone here, just make sure that someone checks it out, and yeah, it's obviously, it's checkmate. It's absolutely checkmate. You can't do both. You can either defend the bottom, you can defend the boss. You have a choice here. And they are trying to do both. Vala is fighting off against the camp at the bottom, but this one should easily be taken. There's the arrow, Hanzo's gonna jump in. And they need, the rest of the team should go there too. Hello, team, hi. Alright, they're going for it, 5 versus 4. Heroes are getting killed all over the place. And this is going to be the end. Destructible is in. Well, slappity slap slap. They're trying to get it. Okay. They actually get it. Yeah, never underestimate Division 7. But now he can go for the channel. The team is thinking, take it, take it. Vala's coming in. It's a 1v1. It's a 1 versus 1. There's the spear, there's the damage, but they need to wait for either a kill or the hero to come back. Vala by now, 42 stacks on her level 1. We are 20 minutes in. There's another hit. Vala's on the run, and now he can literally go on the other side, start the channel again, wait for the cooldown, then move in. Vala... Yep, there's the connect. There's another hit. They're going to play this game for a while. And honestly, once that Rhaegar is back, all that he has to do is move here and start the channel, and they're going to win it. All that Imperius then has to do is to slow it down. Game's over. Yeah, arrow connects. He jumps back, but again, they can't get both. Just slow them down a little bit. It's all that you need to do. He can die. It's totally fine. Yeah, kills Vala as well. That's what you get for picking Creed of the Noob on level 4. And here's the channel, and that is game. And with this, ladies and gentlemen, we have Team Nova move on to the grand final of the Rare Cup. And also, another word of advice, never ever pick this talent. Just don't. Save a friend and spread the word. Congratulations to Team Nova moving on to the grand final. Fun series, a weird series. Was a little bit to learn there after all. So, yeah, despite being a little bit critical of some choices, I hope that you learned something and had some fun with it. And of course, we're going to also jump into the next semi-final. GG. And again, congratulations to Team Nova for advancing to the grand final.